Hello. Hope everybody's having a great Sunday. My name is Carrie, and I did, a tarot spread for Donald Trump, our president, about his year. So there's 12 cards. I picked the sun to be his signifier card to represent him in the reading, and all around him are the months. But we'll get into that in just a second. I wanted to read a few things from his numerology chart. I find that numerology and astrology in general are very, very helpful tools in learning about yourself, learning about other people. I want to say before I get into this reading, I am not political, and I would prefer that any comments that are made are not politically based, because that's not what I am making this video for. I have a different kind of view of politics. I don't engage in them because they are not for us. They are for, themselves. And that's how it's been for a very, very long time. And unfortunately, there's some things that we cannot change individually. We have to all change together. And that's why, certain things are put into place to keep us from binding together. The phrase divided we fall, united we stand. Well, that's because they divide us not only in race and in what political party we associate with, which I never seen that much of a problem with different, political views and being a Republican or being a Democrat. I never really saw politics have that big of an issue up until recently. And, it was almost like people were taking, if you're a liberal, I would run you over, one less liberal. No, this is what they want to do from us. This is what they want to take from us. And that is our basic humanity. The want to help out the person next door, to care. They don't want us to care, because if we care, then, we're going to be active, and we're going to be actively trying to prevent these things from happening. I think that caring, again, for us as individuals is one of the most important things to focus on, and not who's going to be in the office. Because, to be honest with you, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Our votes mattered more in American Idol back in the day when it used to come on TV. Imagine if we could call in, though. Wouldn't that be great? But, we can't expect people who don't know us on a personal level to have our best interests at heart. But more so than don't know us, don't know the struggles, don't know, because it matters. When you because that's why I wanted to read this to you guys. When you actually learn about someone and you learn their story and you get to know them, that makes you care. So people try to put people in a box and say, oh, well, they're just all this or they're just all that. We're not all just anything. We're very complicated, wounded. We all bleed the same creatures. And we're all just trying to make it the best that we can. We're not supposed to be perfect, Our lessons on earth, I kind of think of it something like hope springs eternal, hope springs forth type. The more we have hope, you gotta have hope. Hope that one day it'll all make sense to you, and hope one day you grasp what you were supposed to know, and hope that one day or one thing that you do helps somebody else, because just a little bit of hope can make someone's day. It doesn't have to be money, it doesn't have to be time, just, it doesn't even have to take a long time. Just being positive and doing something positive for somebody else, like that drive-through pay for the car behind me thing. Down here in Mississippi, when that happens, they usually be doing that all day long, because it inspires the spirit to give, you know. It inspires people to be as giving as they were, and to have something as pleasant as they felt happen for someone else. It, you know, it's not when will more people care, it's when will you care. Because when you care, you are enough. With everything that you touch and with everything that you do, showing compassion, understanding, and empathy, and being able to appreciate everybody for who they are. And, you know, even evil, you know, evil, it ends with humans, and it begins with humans, and it ends with humans, you know. We're born into sin. The world isn't sin, because if we weren't here, what evil acts would be taking place? Because animals, they aren't really evil, are they? They only eat for necessity, and only hunt for necessity, and they don't just have trouble, you know, with somebody just because they want to. Just because they woke up and it's fuck you Tuesday. Excuse my language, y'all, I'm sorry. But you know what I mean. The evil doesn't exist if there's not someone to act out the evil. If that makes more sense. And, you know, little by little, you gotta realize the power is within us, because God made us. God knows we're imperfect. We're not supposed to be perfect. We're just, you know, down here trying to learn what we're trying to learn, whatever lesson we're supposed to be learning. And one of the main ones I feel is to be the most valued is, no matter what you go through, no matter what adversity, no matter what evilness, no matter what bad break you get in life, that you still reach within yourself and allow yourself not to harden, but to feel those negative feelings, those awful feelings, and appreciate them just as much as the happy ones. Take it as a learning experience. Don't take your pain and make it into, you know, something else that's a roadblock that blocks you and your happiness, because you're the only one that suffers, or, you know, bipartisan, the people around you. You know, whether the president is this person or this person, it's not really important. But what is important is this new hate that everybody spews. You know, we have kids in school committing suicide, and we say, we don't want any bullies. No bullies. But their parents are at home after work on comments threads and just belittling and berating people for making statements or not agreeing with their opinions. Just because you're not face to face with an individual and you don't have to face repercussions in the physical world does not mean it's okay. Does not make it any different. And it does nothing for you. And all you're doing is breeding hate. And there's enough of that here. You don't even have to breed it. It just exists without any effort at all. I'm not saying don't stick up for yourself and don't stand up for what you believe in. But there is at no point in time that anything that you believe in that is morally decent and good for humanity and society and not selfish, there's no reason that you having a differing view from me or me having a different view from you, there's no reason why I couldn't be your friend, number one. But there's also no reason that I would even have to try to insult your intelligence or tell you you're wrong. Because I don't know if you're wrong or if you're right. I don't know if I'm wrong or I'm right. I know that I have intuition. I'm very empathetic. I have, you know, things that God gave me that are gifts that He gave me. But I'm not going to be right and confident in everything that I say and think and feel. And that's okay. It's okay for someone to be them and beautifully them. As long as it is not harming anybody, let your freak flag fly, you know? Whatever your freak flag colors may be. It's not really that important. But this is supposed to be the land of the free, and I just feel like everybody's trying to fit themselves in a box when we don't belong in those boxes. Keeping up with the Joneses. I don't even know who the Joneses are, so I haven't ever tried to keep up with them. You know, just because it doesn't make you any better, any worse, because someone has more things than you have. And that's why I wanted to kind of read a little bit of the numerology and then talk about his year, because I hope that a good amount of people will see this video. And even if you dislike him as president, I hope that hearing, because, you know, I personally don't care for Donald. I didn't care for him when he was, you know, doing The Apprentice. I've never cared for his personality. Just never really cared for it. I didn't hate him as president because I just knew it was going to be as, you know, as bad as they wanted it to be, as good as they wanted it to be. Other people run the country, you know, not us. But that really wasn't important to me. But we should be just one, you know, because we're one nation under God. We were supposed to be before, but we're not anymore, which God is. And when I say God, that's representative of whatever God you believe in, you know, my God and myself, because honestly, God and people's visions of God, unfortunately, because none of us know, is all different and something greater than us, you know. I've went to Church of Christ my whole life, went to Christian camp, you know, and these tarot cards, you know, they do say that they're evil, they're not of God, and things of such. But just so we're aware here, God is everything, and there is not anything on this planet that God did not make. God made evil. Do you see what I'm saying here? It's about choices. Free will choices. We're destined and fated to do a lot of things, but we have free will and we have choices, and that's one of them. You can be evil, or you can let the world make you evil, or make that evil and darkness come out of you, or you can take that darkness and evil that the world tosses your way and tries to bring out in you, and you can allow that to fill you up with even more caring and compassion. Because just because you hurt, that pain you feel, let that heal you in a way that can help heal others. Doing something that you know how it feels, like you know what kind of pain it causes, if you do that, I feel like that is one of the most wickedest acts that can ever be had. To do something because you personally knew how it would affect them. Okay, so I'm going to stop rambling now. Hopefully you guys are still listening. But let me get on with this. Okay, so this is for Donald Trump. This is his numerology report that I did today, or well, last night. His personal year this year is a 6. And he should learn. He's going to have to learn about love and what love and consideration are. Many events in your year will turn turbulent. Will turn toward family and loved ones. Many events will be related to them. It's filled with responsibility you are expected to comply with. If unhappy with your relationship, don't say traps. In the union, possibility of needing to take care of an older relative, and if you are not in compliance with them, it will most likely be by force. It is a favorable year for work, finding a new career, changing jobs, if you're unhappy in your current position, making bigger salaries, earning more money, expecting a raise, or a new source of income. Your year is all about unreserved giving. You love life. Your love life will be unhappy. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I can't even read my sloppy writing. Okay. Your love life, if unhappy, will bow favorably if you cut ties now. Even with hurt, he's in a learning phase, basically, where you can start anew. This is the first one. The accomplishment that he needs to learn this year is to learn to give yourself more without asking for something in return. Help loved ones without expecting gratitude. Find solutions to problems, especially related to family. Take it to the next level or break up. This is the ideal time for all endings. So, the dominant colors for his year are going to be sea blue, indigo, royalty blue, light red, mustard, and yellow. And the crystals which would increase in his vitality and health, and I do recommend to anyone that is interested in it, crystals are one of the most naturalist resources here on earth that we have. And they can do wonders for your health, your energy, your improvement. If anybody has any questions about it, I would be happy to answer any. But crystals they helped me through my mom's death, which was almost a year ago now. So they are wonderful in a lot of healing aspects, and I just think that everybody should embrace them, but only if you're comfortable with it. But the crystals that would increase his energy and his outflow of positive energy would be jasper, the brown or yellow, onyx white, topaz, diamond, emerald, and cat's eye. I really like the cat's eye. Okay, so for the month of February, which is what we're in, that month, this number is going to be the number 8 for him. And the number 8 is all about rebirth, because the last 7s are about endings, which this is supposed to be 7, wasn't it? No, but I can't remember what it is with the 7, but 7s are about endings as well. 8's about rebirth on material levels, so the way you handle money and stuff like that. Rebirth on material levels offers you increased engagement in that direction. Don't be greedy and take what doesn't belong to you. Roll up your sleeves and do things right, and you will find happiness. It's important to direct your spending patterns properly to produce favorable outcome. Also, to beat your opponents Also favorable to beat your opponents or win a dispute or court case. Even if you don't invest, you may expect positive results from previous investments. If you haven't been fair in your dealings previous years, because this is the year of Saturn, which is karma, expect that justice will be served. It may come in the form of material cost, financial cost, job loss, even bankruptcy. On the other hand, if you are fair, you will be rewarded a reward which may be in material gain, glory, recognition, or inheritance. Past loves can be revived, but major breakups, weddings, and other life-changing events take place as well. Pay attention to your diet and your physical activity. Beware of stress and worry. Your body, clean your body with healthy food and reduce meat intake. So, Donald, you need to become a vegetarian if you see this. It says, I don't know, that's just what it says. But it sounds like, this year's all about karma. Reaping what you sow. That boomerang coming back to hit you if you sent a bad boomerang out before. Settling debts. That Saturn energy. I don't know. I know that from a lot of things I've seen, he's kind of greedy, so he might suffer. He might suffer a little bit because he hasn't been. I wouldn't say he's been necessarily fair. Now I will say this much. I don't feel like he's been as like evilly, like occulty. Obviously, it's a common known thing for most people here that the occult runs a lot of things, and a lot of people are working for the occult. Some people aren't, or some people have their own motives. They're not really interested in trying to push theirs, But anyways, it doesn't always have to mean evil, and that's the best thing to do is to break people down, because never is anybody ever solely one thing, unfortunately. Life path number 4. That's his life path. What his purpose of this life is here. They are very stable and persistent. They do not give up. They fulfill their duties and obligations to the end. They organize it, calculate it, get the materials to build it best. No place for improvisation or spontaneity. With number 4, everything must be in place. Presidency. Wait, no, that ain't what it says. Oh, precisely determined and by the rules. They plan, set rules, follow routines, fulfill obligations on time. There will be burdens, delays, disputes, hard work in life for the number 4. They go through life by following recipe for success. The number 4 is a karmatic number. From the birth, they take over. They take over debts that they've had from previous lives, or that any of the ancestors that have died and it hasn't been collected. It's like coins, in like the Mario games, you get some more coins after you got hit by the man that took all your coins, If that makes sense, probably don't make no sense. But yeah, it's like that. You can gain other people through your blood. Your bloodline is all interconnected. Everything must be in place and determined by the rules. They plan, they set the rules, and they follow routines and fulfill obligations on times. Will be burdened. Okay, sorry guys. They go through life by following the recipe for success. Number 4 is a karmatic number. Oh wow, I was all the way down here. Karmatic code is okay. So here we go. They have created for themselves, or that have been left to them by their ancestors. the best bet is to pay off your karmatic debt by paying off your karmatic code, by paying off these debts, and also better the future for your descendants. It will be a tough fight. Many will think they have no choice. They can't be around their karma. It will be good to pay off debts. Oh, you can't outrun. Y'all, I can't read my own writing. I'm so sloppy. I promise I can read. It's just my writing. That is a little messed up. But, you know, you can't run from your karma. What's coming to you is coming to you. But, yeah, you can, like, be owed debt. So you have good karma or you have bad karma. So it seems like Donald Trump's family for some generations have had some bad karmatic debts that they've had, that they've all came in with a slight disadvantage, not in money, but I want you guys to understand, money isn't where happiness lies. Happiness lies in your perception, your mindset, your partner. You know, if you're with somebody you love, it doesn't matter if you're underneath a bridge or in a nice 5-star hotel. As long as you're with them, nothing else matters. And that's the true things that matter. Okay. Number 4s can be dangerous for their enemy and make things hard for them. They will wait for the right moment to strike, then attack them. Revenge will not settle, and take revenge, and will not settle until their enemy are defeated and humiliated. So, you know, that comes from, he has a very low self-esteem and feels really down on himself and like beats himself up really bad. So what happens is it's like a projection, and he projects it onto other people and, like, you know, puts himself a little higher, which is delusional thinking, but, you know, we can only pray that he gets some enlightenment and he understands these thoughts, because we can all go find out patterns in our birth charts and in our numerology of our names and our birth dates, and we can learn our faults in perspectives that we haven't ever had before. We don't have to, and we can do something to actively change it. You don't have to, you're not destined to do anything that you don't willingly want to do. You agree to it, so you'll want to do it, is what I'm saying. So, but if anybody would like me to do a birth chart for them or a numerology report, I will put my email in the description of this video, and you just shoot me an email and let me know. Okay, so I keep getting off topic, guys. Okay. I gotta see. When not balanced, 4s are cold, suspicious, and mischievous and full of dark thoughts. And they can cause bad luck for others. Sorry about that. Such inharmonious manifestations occur due to the previously difficult number 4. 4s lost their faith in life and turned into self-destruction, makes them stuck, rigid, impatient, quarrelsome, and then even have suicidal, y'all, I can't even, but they even have suicidal thoughts. I do think that his presidency has garnered him a lot more negative thoughts, and the reason that I actually wanted to look into a lot of it is because I could kind of see it. He was kind of deteriorating, it seemed like to me, and you know, that's not good for anybody. I don't care if you are agreeable with him, I'm not, but I don't want him to suffer. We all deserve happiness, you know? And we all deserve to live a comfortable life. But his lesson is to be more flexible in his approach. The more flexible and the more you can offer, you will still set rules, but important when circumstances are fit for it. Safety and security are important to you. You may be strict, expecting the same level of commitment from colleagues. They love anything that is precisely defined, because then there's little room for mistake. If they want a number 4 to do a good job, give them detailed instructions. They won't fight it, and they won't fail you. You know, that's another thing I think that he suffers with. He doesn't want to ask for help. You know, he's got his chin up because he feels like he will be judged, and you know, and right now, yeah, he would be, because everybody judges. But it's okay to admit that maybe, just maybe, because it's not any different from any other presidency term, really, except for he's like a little more bold. By the way, everything on my channel is allegedly. It is my thoughts. It is my opinions. It is not fact. So I don't want to get in any trouble or anything, so I just wanted to make sure I said that. But, you know, everything is, I think that we need a new type of system as far as presidents go. Because as we can see from the presidents since I've been alive, is it takes a really big toll on these men and these individuals, and you're like, oh, it's because of your president, you've been stressed out. Well, doesn't that mean that maybe we need to set up a system that's a little better for ourselves? I don't even know what it would look like. I'm just saying. But, okay, so let me get to this reading. All right. So, again, I said that I picked this card to signify Donald Trump because, you know, the sun is masculine energy. It's all about, you know, he's on a high horse. I thought that was funny, but I feel he is, but that's no disrespect to him or anything. But a lot of it is because he never got to be a child. A lot of his psychological issues are. So his January, and this is all, so it's going to go, this is January, the High Priestess reverse, but it's going to go February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and end December. So the High Priestess reverse, which, you know, this is a very pretty card. I'm using the Witch's Tarot deck. It is very, very pretty. I really love these cards. They're really adorable cards. But I got the High Priestess reversed. Being out of balance, repressed feelings, a refusal to learn and grow, unrecognized potential. So, this is probably,